case for truth and justice with the right information to help improve the situation. It's Mother's Day. Oh, yeah, it's Mother's Day. I want to do a special holler out to the goose. That's what my grandkids named my mother, Granny Goose of all things. And she actually responds to it. So what can I say? So, happy Mother's Day, Goose.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Josephine. Happy Mother's Day, Delilah, Mishua, Tiffany, Dion. Oh, my goodness. We have a wonderful family situation where we are able to acknowledge the fact that we've got some of the greatest mothers on the planet in our family. I know it because we have some of the greatest children on the planet in our family. And none of us are perfect. Well, maybe I am. No, Mom told me I was perfect, and I can't call my mother a liar. But she hasn't been with me every moment, every step of the way, so I do defer to acting as perfect as possible in her presence. So that's not a bad thing to say. I want to make note that since we have gathered, we have selected, projected a new pope. And this pope, his grandparents, according to the 1900 census, were living in Chicago and actually in Chicago, yes, in New Orleans, and they were registered as black folk. And then they moved to Chicago, and somehow going across the Mason-Dixon line, they passed into a new status of being white. But we understand that. During that period of time, if you're able to skip over and get out from under the hammer of being black in a racist country, we kind of applauded our folks who were able to do that. We look at it a little different now. Some of these black folk are not even passing. You know, they're just acquiescing and running around on their hands and knees, trying to please someone that has demonstrated there's nothing you can do to please them. I am not. I'm not dismayed. I'm actually encouraged because usually during a fire, the people come together to put it out. And we have a fire, and I'm looking for the good folk who are willing to come together and put it out. So as we go forward today, I'll tell you about a few things that are working for us and that we should look forward to participating in. Before I go too far, I guess one of those things is the accessory dwelling units. Now, why do you want to talk about that on Mother's Day? Because many of us, if we had that accessory dwelling unit in our backyard, we'd be able to put Mom there and be able to see her every day and know that she's doing well, as opposed to having to maybe drive some miles to see her or go into a facility like I have to do. So I'm going to be one of the first people that I know of to actually put a ADU in my yard, and I'm blessed to have enough yard to do that. And the important part about that is to know that Dr. Sharon Barnes has made it very easy for you, me, and anyone else who wants to be the possessor of an ADU in our backyard. She's looked up all of the rules and all the regulations, so you don't have to do that. She's partnered with a finance company, so you don't have to worry about, can I pay for it? Yeah, you can pay for it. And the other thing is she's found a contractor, and she's using a contractor that builds steel houses. Now, you don't have to use this guy. You can do what you want to do. But just think about how hard it is to burn down a steel house. Okay, so that's something I want you to look forward to hearing more information about. And we're about to go into the month of June. Now, Juneteenth, the date that we have captured as a result of shedding the jacket of slavery back in 1865 when General Granger rode into Galveston, Texas, which is an island. I don't know how he rode in there, but maybe the water was not that deep. But it stated that he rode into Galveston and informed the enslaved people there that they were free. The war is over and they didn't have to. And it was on the 19th of June. So we have been celebrating Juneteenth somewhere in America every June 19th since 1865. And as it turns out, I think we have now captured the whole month of June in terms of the events that I see people putting on. And we have with us one of my compadres, Talon, who has put together a before Juneteenth week. I mean, that's, it goes back to Black History Month. It used to be Black History Day, Black History Week. Now it's Black History Month. I'm with the Black Pope. I guess we can go to Black History Year now. Yeah. These are amazing revelations at the time when the world is trying to get rid of the appearance of fairness by being as unfair as they can by saying, well, you're going to be trying to be so fair to people who ain't white that you're making white people be the subject of some unfair treatment. Well, I can relate that the people of today, the white people of today are not the ones who held my ancestors as slaves back 200, 300 years ago. But sometimes they are still, as I look at them, and they are still spending the money that was made selling and off the labor and the sweat of the backs of my ancestors. So if we're in the music business, we call those royalties. Mm-hmm. If you created some jewelry, some artwork, some pots, some things that were Unitarian, but at the same time were artistically delivered, and being sold in museums and stuff now. We hear a story about a black man who he made bowls, he made pottery, and he signed his name. And he sold somebody sold one of those pots for $300,000 and some thousand, little old cereal bowl.
Wow.
And I don't think the family is getting their royalties yet. So the idea is that fairness is something that is based on balance. It's not based on who's in charge and who's got the biggest gun and who has the most audacity to deny what's right and what's wrong. So have faith, look inward, check on that guy next door and across the street, and do something cool for him, because he may need to be the one to tell you your house is on fire. So I don't worry about his politic. Just remember that he's local. And if you take him a little food, you take him an apple, you take him something out of your garden, he's going to start to melt down a little bit, just like everyone. When they see your face, it's kind of hard to ignore your right to be there. When they hear your voice, it's kind of hard to ignore your right to speak and have an input in how things are going. So, freedom is not a noun. Freedom is a verb. It's something that we act on. And so, I guess I'm not through, but I'll start sharing this microphone anyway. Talon, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, sir. And yourself?
God is great. I'm extremely grateful. Introduce yourself and introduce your associate and introduce your beautiful mother.
Oh, yeah. Well, my name is Latte Wilson, also known as Talon to some people. My partner here is Pastor Rob Sharpshire. We do a lot of nonprofit stuff together. And then my mom sitting to the far left is Miss Lorraine Harris.
Happy Mother's Day, Miss Lorraine. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you for being a pillar in the community and showing us the example of how to treat women, how to be a man of the family, and how to appreciate our moms, because I've always... we talk a lot. You always checking on your mom and different things of that nature, and you treat your wife real good. So it's good for us in our community to see that example firsthand.
Well, one of the things that I don't want to have happen is have the angel at the gate tell me no. Mm-hmm. Turn around, boy. The other direction is where you got to go. Yeah, I don't want that part. Okay, so I'm going to try to do the best I can. And Anthony Garcia, the Mood Master, is here, and he will, at some point today, share his wonderful Mother's Day poem. He doesn't say a lot most of the time. He uses his guitar to speak, but we're going to actually put a microphone in front of him and let him share his verbal salute there. But Talon, you have you have something going on in June.
Okay.
The week leading up to Juneteenth. I don't want to pretend that I'm the guy able to promote it. Tell us the theme and how you decided to do this and what's involved.
Well, I just was. If I tell you how we came up with it might expose some people. But so we'll be delicate. We'll tread lightly over that.
When you say expose some people, are we getting? We're not talking about in a negative way, or are we? Are we talking about people who inspired you because they got in the way?
Well, yeah, because well, you spoke on it on your intro. Basically, it's not the actual people, but the system that they put in place, the language that they put in place. Kind of leaves the people that's not alive, the ones that are still alive, the ability, according to the language or how things are structured, to still kind of perpetuate slavery.
And slavery in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Mindset.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's true. So they're in charge of facilities. They're in charge of many of the things that we need to utilize if we were going to put on events and activities. So I know what that means, having spent many hours planning and trying to do things that are beneficial to the community, but at the same time understanding that I got to pay somebody.
Yeah, we never. Yeah,
our facilities that are public facilities in many cases. But that's the way it is. It didn't scare me, doesn't scare me, and I know it doesn't scare you. Once again, that resistance is the thing that shows us our real strength and inspires us to find a direction to get it done.
Yeah. So we never mind paying, and the thing is, it's like we wanted to have it on that day that you spoke of June 19th, but the powers that be was just gonna triple the price if we decided to have it on that day, and it was already a steep price that we was paying to do it. So then we figured, okay, well, if we can't do it at our ideal spot on the 19th, then we'll just start off there at our ideal spot, let that be the kickoff, and then we'll just find another spot to end it.
Well, that is a circumstance that, though we are in the Inland Empire, probably one of the most beautiful places on the planet, that's why we're here. One of the places where we have black folk, brown folk, a very diverse community where people are moving in from Los Angeles and other places. So we have we're a destination point, and at the same time, there are others like us throughout the country that hopefully are going to be inspired as they hear the Inland Empire story. Because what we do here, they can do there. And we are not going to not be in charge of ourselves. And we encourage them to take those steps and do what they need to do. So when we go to price something, if we went to the store and decided we wanted some green bell peppers, and the price of the green bell peppers was way up, but the red bell peppers were down, then we go in and go with the red bell peppers. So if the date that we want to get is all used up, then that means there's some value in those other days. So tell us what we've got going on with Juneteenth, with your.
So it's going to start off at Cal State on the 13th. And then Pastor Rob will give you the rest of the rundown.
Okay,
he knows it better than I do.
Okay, so what's going to happen?
And we actually do it through his foundation, my foundation, Latte Wilson Foundation, which focuses more on domestic violence. His foundation is called Love for Us, that focuses kind of like on everything. So we do it. It's a collaboration between his nonprofit and my nonprofit.
Okay, so the first event is going to be on what date?
The 13th.
The 13th of June.
First of all, it's called Love for Us Presents 7 Days to Juneteenth.
7 days to Juneteenth. Okay.
Right.
All right.
So it's 6 days of pre-celebration up to the finale.
Okay.
which is June 19th, right? So we start off at Cal State and end up on the 19th at another location that we have.
Okay, well, let's not keep it secret. Tell us what's going on.
Okay.
So
the kickoff at Cal State, then we go to the golf day at
Arrowhead
Country Club. Then we go to Chicken George's open mic.
No, we go to the church.
Oh, to the church, yeah.
You got your phone.
The fellowship
It's not on
gathering.
your phone.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah, don't confuse us.
Yeah.
I'm here to do that part.
Yeah.
So we on the 13th, we start at Cal State. What's going to be taking place at Cal State on the 13th? What are we doing?
Just it's more like a festival setting,
Okay.
with the vendors and things of that nature.
Okay, so you're looking for
Celebrate.
vendors.
Yeah,
you have
looking for
vendors. You're looking
vendors.
for more vendors.
Looking for more
There'll
vendors.
be entertainment. What type of entertainment?
Yeah, entertainment, like local entertainment, artists.
Well, we're the Inland Empire.
Yeah.
And when we say local entertainment, one of the things that we find out is that we're talking about people from Los Angeles, San Diego, San Bernardino, Riverside, Palm Springs,
Exactly.
on and on. So somehow when we say local, people start thinking that we're talking about folks coming out from under their garage or in mom's basement. We have a tremendous amount of talent here in the Inland
Tremendous.
Empire. And it's not, if I could, if I could slap you around a little bit, calling them local is not quite at the level that I know they are, and doesn't create the expectation of excellence that I know you're going to present. So, if at some point, I'd like for you to be able to tell us who's going to be there, someone that that we can look forward to seeing. But we're going to have some music.
Yeah,
We're going to have
we'll have a
food.
DJ,
Music,
food,
DJ,
Where's the food source? Is that something coming from
vendors.
The vendors.
from various
the
vendors?
vendors.
Okay,
Yeah,
food
it's coming
trucks, etc.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, do you need me to come taste the food? Is there a contest or something? Are we
I mean, you
trying to
come
see who
and you
makes
come
the
taste
best
it if you
potato
want to.
pie? Or we trying to see is there gumbo involved? Who could pick the best watermelon? I don't know. I'm just asking.
It's various food vendors that's going to be there.
Well, Ronnie Ribs has been there every year. This is our third year, so we'll give a shout out to Ronnie Ribs because he supported us. He supported us each year that we've had it.
Okay, well, that's good that he's supporting us, but what we want to do is make those vendors realize that we're supporting them. Okay, and by giving a good shout out to what we're doing is really important. So, Cal State San Bernardino is a beautiful campus. They've got beautiful grounds that people will be able to. I mean, you could almost sit anywhere on campus and hear the music and enjoy it. So, where will that operation be taking place?
And it's in the South Building.
Okay, so it's inside.
It's inside.
Yeah.
Okay, so we won't get to sweat in the outside and all that's going to be inside.
It's
I
gonna
mean,
be
there'll
inside, air
be food.
conditioned.
There'll be vendors outside.
Yeah. Some of
in
the
that
vendors will
area.
be outside.
So you actually
but
thought
the
I was
actual
trying to
event-
prefer to be outside in the 100-degree weather. That's amazing. Okay, so air conditioning. That's great. That's marvelous. Okay, so that's the 13th.
That's the
And on the
13th.
14th of June, what are we doing?
We're doing the golf day.
It's called
Golf
family.
Day.
It's called families and fairways
Families and Fairways, and we're going to do that at
the golf course, Arrowhead.
Arrowhead
Lake
Country Club.
Arrowhead.
Arrowhead Country
Arrowhead
Club.
Country Club in the city of San Bernardino. Okay, up on Valencia.
Yep.
Is there a golf tournament that's taking place?
No, it's not a tournament. It's just families, coming together, to eat. We're gonna have food there, music there. Everything is really evolves around just food and music and just community coming together.
Okay.
Just to celebrate the day, like a party. If you could think of a week-long party, that's how I would.
A week-long party. Very good.
With the exception of the Cal State, because at Cal State we actually have classrooms that teach financial literacy, the history of Cal State, and give the history of his grandmother, Louise Shropshire, who originally wrote the song We Shall Overcome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Your grandmother wrote We Shall Overcome?
Yes. She was the original author of it, yes.
My goodness. See what I'm saying? You know, she was local. She was a local somewhere. You know, but she's international in terms of who sang that song, who sing that song.
It's actually global. So.
Yeah, global. Yeah. Right, but you know, you're local. That's my grandmother. No, so you've shared your grandmother, whether you wanted to or not. Praise the Lord. Shared your grandmother with the world.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah, her song was kind of hijacked by a group of Caucasian folk singers, and I took them to task, and actually
took them to court.
took the rights to the song away from them.
Okay, so you reclaimed those rights.
Well, not yet. We what we did was in that case we just took the rights away from them. We did not include her in that case. We were just saying that you don't have the right to charge anybody to use it because you don't own the rights fairly and legally, and we proved that. And so what happened was we were able to take the rights from them, put the song in the public domain, and so now that opens the door for my grandmother to come in and claim what was hers.
That is, that's the freedom step, and it is something that we see the courts having to open their doors and make some major decisions right now in terms of what's right, what's fair, and good luck with that. We want to keep us aware because as it's in the public domain, I don't know what we need to do to pull it out of the public domain.
But just prove that it was hers, and that was actually done in this case because the judge even recognized her. He mentioned her, but she wasn't included in the case, so she was irrelevant to that case. And
Very good.
So that's not going to be a hard hill to climb.
Well, no, because I know you guys know enough about the music business to know that all you need to really do is, if Ray Charles could do it with God Bless America, okay, so you can wake that up. That's good. Okay, so on Tuesday we would be at the golf course.
No, Saturday we're at the golf course. That's the 14th.
14th, okay.
Then on the 15th we're at what's the name of the church? Pastor Aaron's church.
Yes, Christian Fellowship.
Pastor who?
Pastor Aaron.
Aaron.
That's
his first name.
Yeah. What's the name of the church?
I'll tell you.
Okay, well, I understand.
It's
Hallelujah Temple. Hallelujah Temple.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, Hallelujah Temple. That's actually on
Christian Family Church. And that's called the Believers Fellowship Gathering.
Okay, so that'll be the Sunday activity. And then coming after that, Monday will be?
Chicken George Waffle House, open mic.
No, Monday is the bowling.
No, we switched it.
Yeah, Monday is going to be bowling at Bolero.
Where is that?
Bolero is on Orange Show Road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Orange Show Road.
Orange Show Road and
we would like
Arrowhead.
we would like to invite all the BSUs to come out. We're renting like 8 lanes, and we would like the BSUs to come out and just bowl against each other or just have a good time bowling. Period.
Okay, so there's going to be a little tournament.
We would like it to be a tournament. I've never organized a bowling tournament.
Some prizes up
there. So I've never organized one. All that we've done thus far is just secured the lanes.
Yeah, and get some gumbo over there. They make some good gumbo at that bowling alley there.
They make gumbo at the bowling alley?
They do.
Anthony Garcia, mood master. You're telling me?
You can't tell everybody because everybody will be there now.
Well, you know that is the history of good gumbo. You know, you get there and it's gone. Good gumbo at Valero Bowling Alley
Bolero.
in San Bernardino on Orange Show and Arrowhead. I think are they open today, Eric?
Yeah, they're open every day.
Can you check and see if that's a Mood Master imagination or if that's real?
You got it. I was going to say, I know they got good drinks over there, but I can't say anything about the gumbo. let me check it out, though.
That's right, palm trees.
You got to know somebody there.
Oh, so this is well, you know that I don't know if you guys remember Mr. Willie Dean, who had the Cajun restaurant on Highland, and he had it on Pepper, but he first executed his culinary arts over at that bowling alley.
Oh, okay.
That's where he was when I met him, and he definitely was making gumbo. They may have secured
his recipe.
His recipe as he moved
kept
on.
it going.
Yeah, but either way, it's worth checking that out. Okay, so now, and the next day, I heard you keep saying something about Chicken George.
Chicken George.
There's actually two events that day. One in the
daytime at Chicken George,
at night,
and then one at night at the Epic Center in Rancho Cucamonga.
Okay, so in the daytime, we're reverting back to and celebrating a name that was brought up in that great documentary, that series, Roots.
Yeah.
Chicken George.
Yeah.
Now, let me demonstrate my ignorance and ask: is that actually a restaurant, or is that just a date?
No, it's a restaurant.
Where's Chicken George restaurant?
It's a black-owned restaurant. It's off of like 40th.
In San Bernardino?
In San Bernardino, they have great.
Oh, folks, you need to have your pen and paper out. We are learning things here today.
They have great chicken and waffles. Great chicken and waffles.
Great
chicken and waffles at
Chicken George
on 40th Street.
San
Bernardino.
Could you see for us if let's matter of fact, call Chicken George. Yeah, call Chicken George and see if somebody will talk to us.
So this is the whole concept of the Juneteenth, Mr. Wallace, is to bring our people together and share.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, as we look into this tunnel of despair that is being trying to be built around us by our power hungry, selfish folks at the government level, we don't lose when they demonstrate their ignorance and their quest for power, because it does drive us back together.
Yes.
It makes us realize that there is something special about who we are and what we do, and because it doesn't just attract us, it attracts everybody across the planet. Could be because, much like the Pope's family, that element of soul and justice that goes along with it, that element of soul and equity, a desire for equity that goes along with it, was under such attack 1900 when his grandparents, who were black in New Orleans, somehow, and this is the way the words are passed along by the genealogists, as they moved to Chicago, they passed into white society. Okay, so I say that to say that many of our quote-unquote white brothers are not white.
Yeah.
Okay, they've got the gene, they've got, and we see them, we know them, we recognize them, and sometimes we whisper about them. Oh yeah, who is that? We can tell.
Yeah.
When I say we can tell, black folks can identify people who are not deeply melanin enriched.
Yeah.
They don't have to have dark skin for us to be able to look at them and, determine
be like they cut with something.
Those lips, and that nose, and that ear, that walk, that hair, that whatever, reverts back over to the contributions that come from the great motherland of Africa. Spread itself to South America. So we have the ability to even know that these folks who are out there trying to deny our rights to equity, the world's rights to be like and share who we are, that those folks go home and listen to Aretha Franklin. They go home and listen to, you could name them off, and every one of them, I don't care who they are, has got on their music list more than one black artist. I don't care who it is. I would challenge them to try to hide it and let me look in their song list. I challenge them to listen to the music without patting their foot. And I'm not mad. I'm saying all of this to say we have a right to expose that, to bring that along, to clap to that, and say, "Oh yeah, bro, how you doing?" And that kind of melts these artificial barriers that they keep trying to put between us. Their children recognize the lie. Their children are constantly admiring the essence of our soul as we bear it and show it and share it. So I encourage us to keep doing that. I'm not trying to say, "Oh, gotcha, the Pope is back and he's trying to hide it." No, he's not trying to hide it. He had a brother who was interviewed. His brother said he didn't know nothing about it. But I tell you what, in Mississippi, 1955, 52, there was no question about who went to the back door. You were either white
or not.
Okay, there was no shades of brown and yellow and maybe Filipino and Indian, and no. Showed you how they treated the Indian, the Native Americans. That's how they treated the African Americans, the black folk from Africa. How they treated the Chinese people. Boy, I tell you, if you haven't looked at the stories of how America treated Chinese people when they came here, that's amazing. Asian people in general. But in all of that, we see the success of hard work. We see the success of determination. We see the success that takes place when people point inwardly, recognize their own value first. Now, we see in the music business people who are looking to be discovered, and they never acknowledge their own value. Somebody else does it, and they get ripped off, or they get burnt, or until they get wise enough to realize until you recognize yourself, you're really not recognized. And if you recognize yourself, you don't really have to go through the hassles that you go through when you're trying to prove yourself to someone who's smart enough to keep acting like, I'm not satisfied. Can you do this? That was okay, and they're running to the bank off your efforts all the time. So, anyway, I meant to interrupt you because Chicken George was such an entertaining thought to me. They didn't open up. The line is busy. That's good. That means they're possibly there. Okay.
Nah, they're there.
They're there.
Yeah, they're there. They only close on Monday.
Keep trying, because if they're there,
they only close on Monday.
We want to know about it. See if I need a reservation. We might change where we're going for dinner this afternoon. Just as a support.
I could have called them from the cell phone.
No, I want you to. We can trust Eric is going to take care of the job.
Okay.
All right. So
now we're on Wednesday.
We're on Wednesday.
So Wednesday we have.
We didn't finish Tuesday. Was it Tuesday?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't
Tuesday
finish Chicken George.
and
it's
then
going to be
Epic.
at the restaurant. Okay. Yeah. And then that evening it's at Epic
Center in Rancho Cucamonga.
Okay.
And then Wednesday
now what's happening at Epic? That's a nightclub.
It's like a nightclub, so it's just coming out and
get dressed up.
Yeah, get dressed up and come celebrate. Hopefully we can have Chicken George cater it, though. So we'll try to work that into it.
Okay.
And then Wednesday we're at Celebrities.
That's on 40th Street.
40th Street, San Bernardino. Okay, we try to keep it all San Bernardino. And then the last day will be the celebration of Juneteenth downtown San Bernardino on 4th Street.
On the 19th? Yeah, okay, earlier in the day. All right. That fits in quite well. I know we're having one in Rialto that starts in the late afternoon, 4:30 to 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Okay, so ours started from like 12 to 5, right? Yeah. So that's cool. A person could go to both, actually.
Okay, so if we were able to just run through this again and say that on The 13th of June.
13th, Cal State San Bernardino.
State, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be quiet. And I'd like for you guys to run through this and give people a little excited view of what you're going to do.
Okay, Friday, day one, is the kickoff at Cal State. Then Saturday is...
I tell you what, let's do something. Let me get you a chance to dig up some enthusiasm while I give Mr. Anthony Garcia the stage, because we would like to hear his Mother's Day piece, if that's a good thing to do. Is that good?
Yep.
All right.
Anthony Garcia, the mood master.
Thank you very much, world. The warmth of a mother's heart keeps you warm in the coldest of nights. The warmth of a mother's heart will last forever and a while. The sparkle in a mother's eyes will keep you going when you get tired of trying. The warmth of a mother's voice, a beautiful sound to rejoice. The warmth of a mother's love is unconditional, but a hug can only come from heaven above. The warmth of a mother's face will always let you know you're in the right place. The warmth of a mother's love will always be with you to warm your heart. Mom is the hub of true family love. True family love will always exist because of our beautiful mothers. Thank you very much.
I thought you was going to do it in Spanish, too. No? Oh, okay.
No, that's a beautiful piece.
All right.
And you get better at reciting it every year. So we're going to look forward to next year. Right. Okay, Brother Shropshire.
Okay.
Can we, dun 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 dun. We have
He wants you to
7 days of Juneteenth.
7 days to Juneteenth. Day one, the kickoff at Cal State San Bernardino. Day two, Families and Fairways at Arrowhead Country Club. Day three is the Believers Fellowship Gathering at the Hallelujah Temple. Day four is Bowl Night at Bolero. Day 5 is Chicken George and the Epic Center. Chicken George being at the daytime and the Epic Center at night. Day 6 is at Celebrities. And day 7 is downtown. Juneteenth, the finale.
Downtown San Bernardino on 4th Street.
Excellent. Okay. Everybody, everything is free?
Everything's free.
Yeah.
Who's paying for this?
Love for Us and Latte Wilson Foundation.
Okay. How are you going to get your money back? I mean,
Well, we've never went into a Juneteenth about money. We've from the first one that costed us almost $50,000. From the first one at Cal State San Bernardino, we're just looking at the bigger picture of bringing our people together, whether people show up or not, to celebrate to start celebrating Juneteenth on the day of Juneteenth. So now we have 6 days that's rolling over into the day of Juneteenth.
Well, we have events, and we will be going through those, as we continue our quest to identify celebrations of Juneteenth next week. Vicki Davis will be back. Her commitment is to find out as much as she can about as many events as possible.
Okay. Well, we have 7 of them.
Yeah,
so.
we want to promote that, and the month of June should be filled up with that.
Yeah.
Now, with that, we have Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think we have Malcolm X Day. Right. in
Okay.
June. Yeah. And that leads us toward the 4th of July, which is America's commitment to freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So as we do what we do, we'll be hopefully warming people up to expect the right thing to take place on the 4th of July. and that we all get to celebrate with love and affection and respect for each other.
Yeah.
And not just, a couple of folks who want parades in their name,
Yeah.
So we'll look forward to that. As we are moving toward the end of what is the quickest hour on radio,
Quickest hour.
I want to remind people of a couple of activities that we have available to us. One of them is that today at Noah's Restaurant, starting at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, the Jazz Junkies will be performing at 4 o'clock. The Jazz Junkies are at 4 o'clock. Noah's is having their brunch starting probably now, 11 o'clock to 2. And Noah's is on, 821 North D Street. 821 North D Street. So you want to get by there and get a chance to hear some good music, eat some good food.
They have a sax player during the brunch. Art Hernandez plays during the brunch.
Yeah, okay. Art Hernandez will be there at the 4 o'clock hour, the Jazz Junkies. Okay. Now, we also have the Next Up Aviation Academy. Now, what's the Next Up Aviation Academy? Well, folks, you hear these. Lately, this last week, you were told don't fly into New Jersey Airport because they were having problems not only with the equipment, they were having such problems with the equipment for helping you land. There was a period of time where, for 90 seconds, the air traffic controllers were not able to speak to airplanes. That was so it scared the air traffic controllers. Some of them had to go on stress leave because during that period of time, they know how much communication they normally provide during that 90-second period of time, and there was no communication during that time. Blessed that there was no accidents, blessed that there were no planes running into each other, but that was not because someone was taking care of the business that they were paid to. Being paid to be sure that we have all of the right equipment. That's part of our government's job. We have an FCC. So when that's not taking place, we have a specific place that we could look at to see, well, what's going on? Well, we find that there are, in this present administration, people who are selfish enough and pretending to be ignorant enough to say, well, we're just taking people off the job who are not doing the job correctly. Well, really, what job is that they're doing? Well, they're under this title and they're in this department, and this department is spending too much money, so they must not be. No, buddy, you're talking about air traffic controllers. Well, what about Social Security? Well, no, we're going to leave Social Security alone. We're not going to take your money from Social Security. Well, tell me this. What about the people who facilitate Social Security? Well, we're firing them. They don't know what they're doing. Well, you mean we've had an operation that's been up some 50, 60 years that has never missed getting people their check? And you're telling me that they don't know what they're doing? Oh, you're not even telling me. I had to go figure it out. Okay. That's the same thing with Medicare. They want to fire everybody that's there to facilitate. I don't understand it, but we do have to stand under it. Now, who is being affected by this? Everybody. I don't care if you voted for him or not. Well, who is him? If you have to ask me who him is, you're part of the problem. Him, he, they, them, those folks who were elected to represent you who are not. Most of them, well, we can say some of the Democrats are not, coming up with a great plan, but at least they're not endorsing the walk the plank plan that the Republicans are putting out. So we need to be responsible. We need to use that telephone. We need to call somebody. We need to call the people. And I know I'm talking to the choir. I'm in Southern California. There's not a tremendous amount of dumb Republican activity here. I think there's some responsible Republicans in our area that thought that they were doing the right thing. Well, we need you to stand up now and recognize that firing the people who accommodate and facilitate Social Security and firing the people who are in charge of our landing of our airplanes, and firing the people who were good defenders of our nation, and putting our nation in the hands of people who don't know what security is, telling our secrets, loving the enemies, that the people that they have announced as enemies. I didn't announce them as enemies, but I have to say I'm very surprised to find out that these guys want to get in bed with Russia. You know, Russians don't even want to be in bed with Russia. But here we are romanticizing the relationship with dictators from all over the world. So I do feel that we're going to wake up, and I think that many people are going to realize that, wow, we can stick with that term woke. You know, just because they're saying, oh, we don't like woke. Well, I tell you, folks, what's the opposite of woke?
Sleep.
Sleep. So you would rather these folks walk around sleep than woke? Come on now. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. That is not what you want to have going on. You do not want the red light, green light, caution lights at the corners to be unpredictable and crazy. You don't want it to go from red to green. You'd like to see that caution light show up. You don't want it to just all of a sudden not work anymore, and we just figure out whose turn it is at the intersections. Folks, we like order. We benefit from the idea that we can predict and know that certain things are going to happen, and use that prediction as to help make a plan. So we have an obligation to use our brain. We have an obligation to desire that other people be smart. We have the right to expect that our education system is going to work to make people smart, not to dumb them down, not to say, well, we don't want you to know the history. We're ashamed of the history, so it's better for you not to know that we used to separate families under the guise of the right to do that because those people belonged to us. They were slaves. You know, we could sell the mommy or sell the daddy and leave the child here until they were big enough to sell, and we could actually abuse them sexually if we wanted to because they're slaves. They're not real. And we find out that if we let that go, this is what they do now with so-called immigrants. Treat them like, separate the family, send daddy off, send mommy off, and anybody who's trying to protect them. This last week, we had a mayor of Newark get arrested because he was doing his job at an ice center. And I don't mean where you go pick up blocks of ice, but where you go and stop ice from picking up blocks of people. So we have people who are operating under the umbrella of over-audacity. I mean, just the level of audacity that Mr. Donald Duck Trump has allowed to prevail because, you know, he's leading the charge. He's saying it's okay to be stupid. It's okay to lie. It's okay to lie. Man. It's okay to lie? Man, my mom and daddy catch me in a lie. Oh, no. It's not catch me in a lie. If they catch me in a lie, they wonder how many they missed me in and they whoop my butt anyway. I don't have to catch you in the lie that big lie, because if I catch you in this little lie, I know you told a big lie. Our president is a liar, and I don't mean lying down on the bed. He can't help it. He's a con man. But you can't be a good con man without people who are willing to ignore their intellect and ignore their responsibility to lean in and wait on and push for the truth. So, folks, as we celebrate our everyday Mother's Day today, and we're blessed to be able to do that. We're blessed to be able to not have our mothers put in jail because, you know, she birthed a radical Wallace Allen or Latte Wilson. She birthed children that don't go for the okie doke, so we need to put her in jail. Well, they're not far from doing that. If you don't kiss his elbows, and not just kiss him, but put some emphasis on that. Let me see that you like doing this. if you don't do that right, you could end up getting disappeared. Not just to Nicaragua. I understand that he's preparing himself to send them all the way to Africa. Maybe the next moon trip that Musk is putting together will leave them there. I don't know. But I tell you what, I have not the audacity or imagination to come up with something that is too wild for them to do. All right, well, it's too wild for me to not say Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day one more time. We're looking forward to every day of June that represents the idea of being free and moving toward Juneteenth. And we look forward to talking to you guys again in the near future.
Okay, for
Move
sure.
Master Rap, I always appreciate where you are, what you're doing. Eric, I guess we could not find out what's going on with Chicken George. And what was the other place?
Epic Center.
Epic Center.
The Epic Center. No, there was another place that we were saying that we could eat.
Oh, Bolero?
Bolero.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything about gumbo. I don't want to call Anthony a liar, but
All right, well,
It was good. I don't care what you got.
okay. We know Anthony's got a great imagination, but he's not a liar. So if he said it, if Anthony said we could go to Bolero and get some good gumbo, the only thing that's a variable is what he considers good gumbo. Okay, but they got something they call gumbo.
Chicharrones and tamales and tacos and gumbo.
See what I'm saying? Okay, we go check it out. All right, this is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. We'll see you guys next week under two circumstances. One, if the good Lord's willing. Two,
If the creek don't rise.
God bless you. Thank you for your time.
Have its way.